Why does this photo look totally fake and unrealistic? Well, actually, I think it's down to a few reasons. I think it's got too much colour, too much clarity and far too much contrast. It really makes the photo look very HDR and not the good HDR. It makes it look really gritty and I really don't like it. So how can we fix this image? Well, that is what we're going to be discussing in today's video. So if your photo looks fake just like mine, here is how we can fix it in Lightroom. And I'm going to start right now. Now, there are many reasons why your photo probably looks fake. So we'll go over the top 3 and hopefully that at least one of them will fix your photo. Now, the first one, it's the one that I made the most when I was a beginner, is too much color. And this is mostly down to using the saturation slider. You see, the saturation slider is a really useful tool. The problem is it is so overpowered, it can really ruin your photo even when you make just very subtle, slight changes. And here is a great example. It's a photo that I took last year in Arches National Park in Utah, and I really like the photo. The downside is just way too much color in this image. The red rock is just too vibrant. And look at the sky. If we zoom in, no sky actually looks like that, which is why this photo looks fake, because you just wouldn't naturally see this in nature. Now, if we open up the basics panel, we can see the culprit, and it's this, the saturation slider. I've only got it at 30%, and already the photo looks totally unrealistic. What I wanted to do is actually just naturally increase the colors, because if I reduce it back down to 0 again, the photo looks quite flat in my opinion. So how can we balance the color in our photos? Well, instead of using saturation slider, because I do think it's a far too overpowered tool, we're going to be using the vibrance slider instead. Now, the difference between vibrance and saturation is very nuanced, but basically it's how it actually adds in color. You see, the saturation slider adds in color globally. So it doesn't matter what luminosity each pixel is, it will just whack up that saturation, all the way from the blacks all the way to the whites, including the midtones. Whereas the vibrance slider only affects the midtone colors. So it's a lot more of a subtle slider, and it will only impact colors that are already fairly colorful, avoiding overbearing the photo with too much color. So for example, that saturation was at 30%. So if I bring that up to 30%, you can see that's what saturation at 30% looks like. So for example, if I turn that off and do 30% in vibrance, well, nowhere near is it applied the same power to it. We've still added in color, especially to that lovely red rock. You can see where the sun is just touching the edge of this arch here. But the rest of the photo still looks quite natural. The sky is still a little bit too blue, so I probably wouldn't go as high with the vibrance, maybe 15. Yeah, 15 looks a lot better. So we've added in color without overbearing the photo. So the next time that you're debating which slider should you use, in my opinion, if you're after more of a natural look, the vibrance slider is significantly better than saturation. Unless you really need to add in color, then you've got saturation, as it is just such a powerful tool. Now, the second reason your photo might look fake is because it looks too sharp. Now, lenses, at least modern lenses, are incredibly sharp. The downside to that is if you apply more sharpening to your photo, especially in post-production, it can make it look gritty and just not very nice, especially when we've got skin tones in our photo. So what can we do to avoid this? We'll take this photo here. I really like this photo. It's a photo I took a few years ago, but if we go ahead and zoom in, it just looks too sharp, too gritty. It just, not particularly nice. So what can we do to actually fix this photo? Well, if we open up the basics panel, we actually haven't really done much here. All the sliders are fairly average. We haven't maxed out any of the sliders, which is usually the culprit for bad photo editing. Well, actually, it's this slider here, the clarity slider, which is causing all of this problem. If I go ahead and actually turn that off, the photo looks just ever so slightly softer. And that's what's actually the most important thing. You want to balance how much sharpening you've got in your image. Too much sharpening will make your photo look totally unrealistic. And because of modern mirrorless lenses are really sharp, avoid adding too much sharpening effect in post-production. Now, if we actually go to the clarity slider, because this image is so sharp, we could probably drop it down to -20, and immediately that's actually softened this photo out and it looks really nice. So I would avoid doing a positive clarity effect, especially to your portrait photos. Otherwise, they can look really sharp and unrealistic. You can even, if I go out of the basics panel and drop down to the details panel, you can even affect your sharpening here. Now, to be honest with you, you'd have to really whack up these sliders to make any massive impact. So if your photo does look a little bit too sharp, a little bit too gritty, the likelihood it's probably down to texture clarity and dehaze than pretty much any other slider. And the last reason your photo probably looks fake, and so does this one, is down to that HDR look, that high dynamic range look. Now, having a good amount of dynamic range is important, but we can go way overboard. Now, take this photo here as an example. We've got this lovely sunset, but it just, again, it falls into that problem we had previously. It just looks a little bit too sharp, a little bit too gritty. That, you know, this isn't realistically what it should look like. So what can we do to actually fix this photo? Well, this photo is probably down to 2 sliders instead of just 1. It's probably got too much contrast, and we can actually see this by looking at the histogram. You can see the histogram we have pushed way to the left and way to the right. You can see we've got this really tall kind of mountain here, as well as we've got a fairly tall one in the highlights. So we kind of want to push that into the middle so it's got a good amount of dynamic range and don't go overboard. Again, too much dynamic range can actually make your image look HDR. Now, unless your photo is HDR, you want to avoid your histogram looking like this. So all I'm going to do is go to my contrast here and simply drop that down. I might drop it down to maybe even around 10%, really lower it down from 50, what it was previously. As well as that clarity, I also might drop that down to, instead of being 20%, I might drop it down to 10%. And same with dehaze, I might drop that down to 10% as well. Now, these sliders are quite high. Highlights are -50 and shadows are +70. So if your photo, again, is still looking a little bit too much, then I would simply drop these sliders down. Now, most of the time, it's probably your shadow slider causing the issue. So I'd maybe drop that down by half the number that you've got at the moment. So for example, that was at 70, I've dropped it down to 40. And immediately this photo looks a lot softer and a little bit more realistic of what you would see in real life. And that's what you kind of want to look for. To summarize this video, the reason your photo probably looks fake is because it looks fake. You want to think, what did you see in real life when you took the photo, and try and replicate that. You can go a little bit more, but most of the time, if you go a bit too overboard, either with color, clarity, or contrast, it can make your photo look totally unrealistic. And these are the 3 things that I learned when editing, and hopefully they've helped you out as well. Thank you to all of my YouTube members that are currently supporting the channel. If you guys want to support the channel and get some awesome perks, including free Lightroom presets, and I add those presets every single month, make sure to go ahead to the link in the description. I've been James for Photo Fever, and I'll catch you guys next week.